Hey, what's up, everybody? God bless. And you made it to week 3. That's crazy. I know we said don't trust us, but we seem to be looking like we're reliable with this pod. For now. For now. God bless everybody. This is Pastor Les, and always with my beautiful wife, Pastor Luz, and this is
Talking with Purpose.
Wow, Talking with Purpose. We talk with a purpose here. Anyway, babe, what are we going to talk about today? Can you please let them know?
Who's the boss?
Today's episode is going to be who is the boss, right? Babe, continue, please. And when I do that, that means she's taking the lead because I didn't have time.
Clearly, Pastor Les is not the boss.
Clearly,
right
Pastor
now.
Les right now is not the boss of this episode of the podcast. Go ahead, man.
Oh, man. So we want to talk about the reason why we titled it Who's the Boss, right, is because I feel like in a marriage, like that's a question that people genuinely ask is like, who's the boss, right? Mm-hmm. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about marriage. Let's talk about positions, right? And who is the boss?
Who is the boss? Well, I'll tell you what, guys.
Here we go.
In my house, when I throw these on, I mean business. When I throw these on, Pastor Luz knows there goes Dwayne The Rock Johnson Jr.,
Lord.
and I will listen and obey to everything that man has to say. In my house, I'm the boss. There's no boss above me. My wife showers when I allow her to. She does as she is told in the Quinones household. And now I can take these off so we can continue the podcast.
That's news to me, guys. But nonetheless, being the boss, right, or being the leader, being the head for a man is not about control, right? It's about the man, right, knowing how to lead, but it also comes from the woman knowing how to submit.
That's right, babe. That's such a good point. But can I add that it's not always easy for the man to take the lead, especially when he doesn't know how a lead looks like.
Agreed.
He doesn't know how a leader, looks like. There could be a man that was in a fatherless home. He knows how a single mother looks.
Right.
He knows the grind of a single mother, but he won't know the grind of a man, a father, who's the provider for the household. And for a man like that, that transition could be difficult. So we could touch on that too a little bit.
But it also goes with the woman, right?
Right, yes.
Like I grew up with my mom. She was a single parent. And so my dad really wasn't in my life like that, you know? And so I didn't know what it was to submit to your husband, right? As a wife. And when I say the word submit, like I don't mean, hey, what am I supposed to do today? Would you like me to wash your clothes?
Right.
Would you like me to rub your feet? Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about submit in the sense of I know that my husband hears from God. I know that he is going to do what God told him to do, right? And I also know that he is the spiritual headship of the house, right? And so when we talk about who's the boss, it's not about dominion, because I feel like a lot of people in a marriage, when you tell them like, oh, the man is the head of the house, immediately it comes from a place of like dominion, like he's above me, right? And I'm speaking from the woman's perspective, right? But as I tell any couple that we counsel, God did not make us from your feet, right? He didn't take your big toe and was like, oh, I'm gonna make the woman. No, he took us from your rib, right, from your side.
Right.
And so we are to be your helpmate. Like the Hebrew word literally means helpmate, like it's helper, right? And so we weren't made above you, but we also weren't made beneath you, right? We were made to help you, to support you, you know? Oh my God, here you go.
Even though
Are you gonna put those on every time you talk?
every time I got a point to make about the authority and the bossship of a
Okay.
man, even though God should have made them from the soles of our feet,
Oh my goodness.
so he can step all over the control and be the man that we were created to be.
Get out of here. He don't mean that.
Of course, I don't mean that. I'm playing, guys.
He's being silly. He's being extra silly today. I want you to tell me what you feel the role of a man is, regardless of whether they're a believer or not.
Well, first of all, the man should know that he's a provider. And you know what? That's instilled everywhere. That's found everywhere. The church tells you that. I feel that a man, whether he's a believer or not, he should know that his role is to provide for those that he stewards, that he's over. So the man is a provider. Now, I want to add this though, babe. When it comes to providing, I don't want you to jump right to finances,
Right.
because that's not the only thing a man is supposed to provide in a household. We provide love, care,
Emotional support.
emotional support. There's so many other umbrellas under the umbrella of provider that we tend to skip because we so focus on, oh, a man got to go out there and work for his family. Yes, he does. But if a man just focuses on providing and those other areas are not met, then the household is in shambles.
Right.
The household cannot stand because the man is only focused on the financial part of providing for the family when he has a wife who needs him by his side, emotional support. The kids need a father to raise them. You know, if you're only focused on providing and you're out there working hours a day, your kids don't really see you, then all you're providing is financial needs, but you're not providing emotional needs,
Right.
which are more important.
Agree. And it's so hard because, like, the society tells you that that's the role of a man, right? Is to provide. Like, it's something that people even say, well, you know, my husband pays everything. Okay, and? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he go to your kids' events? You know what I'm saying? Does he provide you emotional support? Like, I literally told you today, like, I was talking to Pastor Les earlier, and we were just talking about things that are going on in our life. But I told him, I said, I can't imagine life without you, you know? And the reason why I say that is because I know what it's like to be a single parent, right? For those of you that don't know, like, my older boys technically are not his kids, right? Like, we when we got married, I had 2 boys. And so I know what it's like to be without a husband, right? Without a man. And so having you is more than just money. It's more than just a paycheck. It's that emotional support that I know, regardless of what I'm going through, regardless of what I feel, it's so nice to know that I can come to you, right? And just whatever. Like the other day, I had a really bad day. And I said, what did I say to you?
I just needed to hug you.
That's it.
Yep.
Like, I literally came up to him and he's like, what happened? And I was like, I just need a hug. I said, hold me. And he just hugged me. That's it. And that was enough for me. You know what I mean? Like, so it goes so much more than just providing, especially from the woman's perspective. Like, yeah, it's cool you bring home a paycheck, but I need more than that.
Right. What good is bringing home a paycheck when all the other important areas in the family structure are all missing? And if the provider, which is the man, cannot provide nothing but financial, then the house is just out of order.
Right.
It's out of order.
And biblically, you guys can look it up. I'm not going to read the verse. 1 Corinthians 11:3. It talks about the order, right? And we talked about this in the marriage conference that we had, right? First comes God,
Right.
right? Then it's Christ, then it's man, and then it's woman,
Right.
right? And so and I say whether you're a believer or not, because I know people that watch this podcast, not everyone is a believer, and
Yep.
that's cool,
Right.
right? But for us, right, like Les's head is Jesus,
Yeah.
right? And so because his head is Jesus, when Les tells me God said blah, 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 I got to be like, all right, whether I believe it or not, right? Because there's been times where he says something, I'm like, oh, I'm doing it because you said God said, but I ain't sure.
And then it happens. She skipped that part. Then it happens. And she, what? Not a peep, bro.
Bro.
We blowing spot. Not a peep.
Get outta
Not all the
here.
time.
No, I will admit when
Yeah. Not all the time. Not all the time. She be. And I gotta let it ride. You know how it is. I know y'all know what I'm talking about, fellas. Y'all let it ride. Okay, fine. I already know that she knows. She could have said, babe, you was right, man.
I can't with you. So, why do you think the Bible says for the man to love their wife as Christ loved the church?
Well, because there's no love like that. That's the example of what love is.
That's good.
Think about this. There is no love like the love that Christ has for the church. Why? Because he died for the church. So, in other words, the Bible's telling you, yo, you got to be willing to die for your wife, but not physical death. Die to your pride, to your ego, die to yourself. Neglect yourself in order to show her that you love her the way Christ loves the body of Christ.
I agree. That was good. So going back to Genesis, right? Here he go with the glasses.
Because I know this is about to get hot.
I can't even take you serious, bro. When God created, oh Lord, when God created the woman, so the word that was used for the woman is ezer, right? Which means helper, as I said. So
exactly where she belongs. Helping in the
outta
kitchen.
here.
Cooking in the kitchen.
Because you don't know how. You want to blow spas, I'll blow spas.
That's
too.
not true, because I could make a good carne guisada and pollo guisado. I just haven't done it in like a year and a half. But that don't mean I can't
A
cook.
year and a half.
Yeah. Please carry on. I'm sorry.
So right, the woman is the helper. The woman is not a servant, right? Like, we didn't come here to wait on you hand and foot. And so Proverbs 31 is more than just, a wise woman. Like, it's more than just that, right? And so as a woman, we are wise,
Yes.
right?
Woo!
We're strong.
Yes.
We're influential,
At least mine is.
right? And so
My woman, she really is. I'm not saying it because you're here.
I know you say it even when I'm not here.
Carry on.
So I always think of like, I don't think women understand how powerful our influence is when it comes to men, right? Our husbands, let me be specific, our husbands, because I ain't trying to, ain't no psychological games here. And why do I say that? I say that because, right, as husband and wife, if there's anybody in this world that can make you do something, who's it gonna be?
That's right.
It's gonna be your wife.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not want to, but
Yeah.
because your wife asked you to, right? Like, you'll do it. And so women have that that gift, really, because like, how many things have you done because I asked you to, but not because you really wanted to, right? And he'll straight up be like, I don't want to, but because you asked, I'm gonna do it.
Yes, I would. So you got to be real too, bro. I don't want to, but because you said it, you need it, babe. I got you. Like one of the last things I did
What?
was jump on a plane and
That
go
was
all
like-
the way. Excuse me, and go all the way to Orlando
That wasn't for me.
for the baby, for our then baby.
Right.
She's 11 now. And, you guys should know that I'm afraid of planes. Afraid of flying, not planes. I used to love planes, but afraid of flying. We were talking about that a few days ago where I said, remember I told you, I was like, I jumped on that plane because I had no other choice.
Yeah, he wanted to drive.
I
I
wanted
said,
to-
I'm not driving with a baby because Bingy was 1.
Yeah, and our youngest daughter was 1 at the time,
No,
and
I-
she was, oh my God, I love her. Let's put it like that. I
And
love
she's
her with
still-
all my heart.
She's still a hot mess.
She's still a hot mess, but anyway, yes, you're right though, babe. Men, eh, man, okay. You said that the only person who can get you to do something as a man is your woman.
If you think about it, when we go to Proverbs, right? King Lemuel's mom, right? That was a letter basically, or it's basically saying what she's telling him, right? And she's telling him, look, when you have a wife, what are you going to look for in a woman? Let me tell you, right? This is what you're going to look for in a woman. And so she goes through and she sits there and tells him every quality that woman should have, right? And so it wasn't just based off of physical, right? And she even says, she says something, I'm paraphrasing, something along the lines of like, beauty will fail. Like her beauty is not always going to be there, right?
Right.
Like we gon' wrinkle, right? We gonna get skinny, we gonna get fat, we gonna go up and down. Like that's a woman's body, right? And that's normal. And so she's basically like, get ready, like this is what's gonna happen, right? But if your wife is like this, like you're gonna be good, right?
Well, you might be onto something because you are going to be the hottest wrinkled.
Not wrinkled.
You said we wrinkle. You're going to be the hottest wrinkled woman.
Let me get some Botox.
No thanks. I want a wrinkled
Inspired
pastor.
Church pastor needs Botox.
No, she does not. No. But to your point, babe, sorry for cutting you off
No, you're
with something silly, but to your point, I can relate to what that lady was saying because here she is telling her son what he needs to look for in a woman. In my household, I had it right before me, and it was my mother. See, my mother didn't have to do what she did to her son. My mother just lived like a mother. She was caring, loving, providing in all emotional areas, sweet, kind, anything you can name. My mother was an amazing woman. So, with that being said, she didn't have to tell me, hey, look for a woman like this. I told myself, man, I need to find a woman who would love me the way my mother loves me, but not in a motherly love like I'm the kid. No, but in a love of that support, emotional support that a mother gives. For those that still have their mothers, man, that emotional support that they give you, if you have a good relationship with them, is key. And it made me really be wise when it came to choosing a wife. So I thank God that the woman that the Lord blessed me with, which is my wife right here to my right, she is everything that my mother was and then some, right? But then when it comes to my father, babe, this is a whole nother side of the story. My father was solely a provider for 20 years. For 20 years, my father was solely a provider. So all he did was provide for the household. And I remember being 20 years old and I was going through a tough time in my life. And I said to myself, I said, yo, I was out here in Ohio visiting my friend. And I was like, you know what? When I go back home to Jersey, I want to get to know my father because I don't know who he is. I felt at 20, I didn't know who he is. I knew he was my father, but I didn't know him. So when he picked me up from the bus station, I started my mission. I started asking him questions about his childhood. And he was taken back from it, but I remember his face like, huh? Like, why he's asking me this? But he answered them. And that opened the line of communication. See, I had to look for that from my father because of how he was raised. Right? It was how he was raised. He was raised, a father does this, and that's it. The mother takes care of the kids. And I'm like, nah, I'm a daddy's boy though. All I wanted was my father. I'm like, no, I want to know my father. So there's two sides to it.
Yeah. And I always say, like, you know how good a husband is going to be, how good of a husband someone will be according to how they treat their mom. Like, I really do feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
like my boys, I'll just use Eli as an example. He's the oldest. That boy, the moment he opens his eyes and he comes downstairs, I'm the first person he hugs.
Yep.
The first person he asks, how are you doing? How did you sleep? How was work? Like, whatever it is. Like, he'll go to a doctor's appointment and he calls me the moment he gets into the car.
Yep.
And I'm like, Eli, you're coming home. like you could tell me about this later, you know? But that's how he is, right? And so with you've always been like, how you treat me, you were with your mom.
Yep.
Right? Except with your mom, you were even worse. But I think it's because she was older.
Yeah.
So you used to like baby her.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yep,
he would be like,
because she was older.
he would be like, esa prieta mía or whatever. Like he would always use those words with her.
I'd be like, what's up with my little black cute thing? Because my mother was dark.
Yeah.
Hey, my little black girl.
But she
would
used to
love it.
I was just about to say that she used to love that he would talk to her like
She
that.
loved it, man. Yeah, but it's true. And you told me that a few times about me. You said, I could tell that I knew you were going to be a good husband because of how you treat your mom. And Eli, that kid's going to be the woman that marries him.
He's
She
single.
better be good, first of all.
He's single, ready to mingle.
He's single. He's not ready to mingle.
Well, he about to be 20.
It don't matter how old he is. He's not ready to mingle. Don't you dare, little single girls who think, hey, maybe let me go look him up and see. Forget it. He's off the market. I'm not allowing it.
Get out of
He
here.
will grow up.
Whatever. So my point with that is that us women have more influence over men than we know,
Yeah.
right? And so
Ooh, sorry. But there's women that know that
and abuse it. Absolutely.
I thank God you ain't like that. Because if she was, we would have been 13 years married. I think we would have been 2 days married. If I would have caught that, I would have bounced.
2 days is crazy.
No. That was still in my honeymoon phase. Rock wasn't going anywhere in honeymoon phase. Continue.
I don't know how you expect me.
Maybe after that phase, I would have thought about it. Like, all right,
Bro.
man. Had my fun. But
Get out of here.
Wait, look, no. I got a good point. I'm being silly, but at the same time, a good point. I had my fun, but this ain't the one.
That rhymes.
No, I know. But it's true. You find that out sometime in the relationship. You got to find out, hold up, because that's manipulation, babe. Mm-hmm.
It is. It's witchcraft.
Yeah, it's witchcraft. Manipulation is a form of witchcraft. And when you use manipulation because you know you got the upper hand, you're being devious.
Yep.
That's ungodly. And if let's say you don't go to church, you still know you're getting the upper hand and you feel sneaky about it. That's why you get that sneaky feeling. And women that know that part and abuse it, they're wrong for that, man. Mm-hmm. But then the men who know that they're using and abusing don't say nothing, y'all wrong for not stepping up.
Right. If you're not going to be the man, then the woman is going to feel like she needs to be the man. You see what I'm saying? And so Why do I say that? Because it's been there, done that.
Right.
Like, our relationship in the beginning was super hard.
Right.
Why? Because I was a single mom.
Right.
So and not saying that you weren't acting like the head of the house, but I wasn't willing to give you that.
But not only that's true, you weren't willing, but also, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. You went from single to dad overnight.
Single to dad overnight. So I knew that I was supposed to be a man in the house, but I'm like, what does that really look like with 2 kids that aren't mine and a woman that already knows how to do everything and don't really
Right. Because you didn't know what a godly husband was.
No,
either.
exactly.
You didn't have that
So there's a thank you, babe. There's a difference. There's a father who's a provider, and then there's a man of God who's a provider. Those are 2 different men. 2 different men. They bring the same thing to the table and to the family. One is being led by God to do it the biblical way. And that is difficult. So in the beginning of our marriage, I didn't know what that looked like. I knew that I was going to go to be a husband to a woman, but I didn't know what a husband in the Lord looked like.
Right.
So I had to learn. We had a very tough learning curve in the beginning, guys.
And so for men, and I don't know if a lot of men do this or understand the importance of covering your house and your family and your spouse in prayer, and specifically in prayer. Because the reason why I bring that up is because I can feel when you're off.
That's right.
Right? And so there's a big shift, and that it hasn't happened recently, but I'll use this as an example. When his dad passed away, there was a huge shift in him spiritually because you were mourning, right? And so I felt that shift. And so when those shifts happen, the house isn't covered. Your children aren't covered. Your spouse isn't covered, right? And so now, as the woman, now I'm head because I have to do what you're unable to do at that time.
Even though, that's so good. Man, that's good. Good job, babe. Even though the roles never change, but the support has to come from somewhere to keep the family going.
Right.
So my wife saw, like, he's down, he's grieving, he's mourning. Things got to keep moving. I have to pick up the slack. And she picked up the slack and let me literally mourn for a year, or a little bit more than a year, maybe. I can't remember, but I know it was a year. Let me mourn for a year. Like, it was tough for me, but she handled it. And then we got to the point where you started feeling off.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I couldn't take it any. It's like you think as a woman, and I'm going to say it, like, as a woman, right, you think like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, I could do this dolo. I don't need, but no. Like, when you really carrying that for real, like, that spiritual.
Come on, you better talk, babe. That's
especially
what I'm
that
saying.
spiritual weight, like, bro, it's not, like, it's not that it's not manageable, but you get to the point where you're like, bro, I'm done. And I was at that point.
Yeah.
I was at that point where I can't anymore.
And
I
it's
just
like,
can't.
and it's like I woke up and I realized it, because I'm getting fine, right? At this point, I'm getting fine, and I woke up and I realized, wait a minute, she's off. So I started analyzing and praying, and the Holy Spirit told me that's because she was carrying your weight. The weight you were supposed to carry, she was carrying on her shoulders, and she can't anymore. And it hit me. And then we had that talk, and I'm like, babe, I know why you feel like this. We talked about it, and she was like, wow, that is it. So, you made a very good point. Don't be trying to carry loads that don't belong to you guys. Please. Women don't do it. Men don't do it. Just don't carry a load that does not belong to you.
And it's this society, everything is like, who's the boss, right? Like, even women, how many women I've heard say, like, oh, he know who run the house. Like, to some women, that's a flex. Like, to me, it's not. To me, that's out of order.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And again, it doesn't come from a place of submission. It comes from a place of respect,
Right.
right? So decisions in our house, it's not Pastor Les and that's it. It's us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like any decision that I need to make, especially if it affects our house, like I'm going to make that decision with him. Just
Right.
like you're going to make decisions with me.
Right.
Right? Like, I wish my husband would tell me I can't. Right? And why do I say that? Because that used to be me, right? Like in the beginning of our marriage. Like, you ain't about to tell me nothing. You ain't my dad. And even if you was my dad, I still ain't going to listen to you, right? But,
Wait, let me just say, she never told me that. She thought that.
right.
Because she never
No,
said that to
Les
me.
has
But
never
you
been
could
like
tell, you could tell. Sorry, you could tell that was the swag she had.
Right.
So I knew she was thinking it, but she never verbally said it.
But the thing with us, right, and I'm going to use us as an example because people have told me this before. For example, you don't like me traveling alone, right? Let me just use that as an example. And so someone could be like, oh, you can't go nowhere by yourself. And it's like, yeah, my husband respects me enough to where he's concerned that I go places by myself. So it's like
It's ridiculous
You know
how
what I'm
people
saying?
think. That's crazy,
like
bro.
I'm just using random examples, right? I want to go skydiving. Like that's like a bucket list thing for me, right? And Pastor Les was like, you're not going, right? And I get he put the glasses on. I can't. Right? And so that's like a bucket list thing for me. And I was like, well, if you go first at 90-some years old, I'm going to go skydiving, right? But I respect him enough to be like, okay, babe, like I understand your fears, right? And so that's cool. Like I'm not going to do it because we talked about it, right? It's not like he's like, no, you can't do this and that's it. You know what I mean? It's more or less of him expressing himself, right? And then me as the woman being like, all right, babe, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
Yeah. I was like,
It's not from a control
no.
place at all.
And this whole who's the boss thing, don't go thinking you could just control your wife because
Or your
the
husband.
order is, or the husband, because the order is the way it is biblically, or because you're manipulative. As we spoke earlier, you're the woman, right? And you're manipulative, and you know you're being manipulative, and you use that to get your way. Don't go thinking that, that's okay.
Right.
That's not okay. It's out of order. And let me tell you something boldly. Your household will never grow. You will never grow. You will always be stagnant. You will never get to the level that God wants your marriage, your house to go to. You guys won't see the blessings that are in store for you if you don't follow that basic, simple principle, because that's the way it is, right? Getting out of order will never put you in order. It doesn't work that way.
Right. And we're running out of time, so we'll bring it in another episode. I want to talk about how to handle when one person is more spiritual than the other. Right?
That's happened back and forth.
Yeah. But I don't want to talk about it now because we could go on a whole tangent on it, right? And we don't want our episodes to be that long.
Right.
So we're going to bring that in our next episode.
Okay.
Is how do you handle when your spouse is more spiritual than you are?
Yeah, because real quick, that has happened here. Sometimes it's me, and then sometimes it's her. And we'll get into the details in the next episode.
Because that also goes into who's the boss.
Right. Yes, it does.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we could go on and on, right? But, if you're struggling with communication with your spouse, if you're struggling with being aligned, right? Like, there's so many things that relationship-wise it's hard, right? We're here. Like, we offer marriage counseling, coaching, whatever you want to call it. And so reach out to us. We are more than welcome to set up a call with you and everything like that. Because like if there's one thing that we're passionate about is marriages.
Yes.
And that's because ours sucked so bad the first year. Like,
Yeah, it did.
Every anniversary, I'm like, wow, we really did it. Like, we're going on 14 years that we've been together. And it's like, and I'm not saying that because he's right here, but anybody that knows me knows, right? I can literally be with my husband 24/7 and he doesn't get on my nerves.
Same thing for me.
Like, no, I know a lot of people that cannot say that at all. And like, we're together all the time. Like, I'm going to Florida tomorrow with my cousin. And she asked me like, oh, like, is this the first time that you've spent the night somewhere else, like without Les? And in 13 years, I've only spent the night away 2 times.
Yep.
And both of those were work trips.
Work trips, yep.
Like twice in 13 years. So that shows you like it's not something that we do. Like we're not like, I'm tired of you, I'm gonna go away for the weekend. Like we don't, everything is like, babe, you wanna go blah blah blah, like let's roll. Like that's how our relationship is, but it wasn't always like that.
Right. So we'll get into more details about that in the next episode. And so yeah, like my wife was saying, man, if you guys if there's guys out there that want to get some coaching on how to handle your position as a man in a marriage, or maybe you're just feeling lost in life and for anything, bro, hit me up. Same thing with the women. Send us a DM and don't hesitate to do it, you know, because the more time you lose on not trying to fix yourself, the more time you stay there. And that nobody should ever live under those conditions.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us on week 3 in a row. I'm very proud of us.
Week 3 in a row. Well, I'm very proud of what we've been doing here, man. This is good.
Oh, gosh. We love, before The Rock takes over, I love you all. God bless you. And until next time, go ahead, The Rock. Continue.
Until next time, know your roles and shut your mouths. God bless you all.